What's good with the YouTube? You already know. Big Flacco from a convict's perspective with Big Senor Rojo. And what we doing? Smashing, dashing, taking pictures with a little bit of energy. As you can tell, man, we got some interesting content going on, man. Man, we ain't taking no pictures like that. Come on, now. Anyways, let's just tell you stick them up real quick, but who cares about that? Anyways, so let's get straight to it, though, man. We got an interesting topic. Ro came across some interesting information, man. It has to do with the feds, USP federal system, and why certain individuals are locked down. I guess there was a murder that transpired not that long ago. So Ro's going to discuss it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we don't know much of the details, the victim, the perpetrators, none of those kinds of things. And they're not really relevant so much. The fact is, not too far long ago, man, a month, 2 months ago, maybe even 3 at the most, there was a nationwide lockdown of all federal NF members and those deemed to be strong sympathizers. And the reason being is because in Pollock, Louisiana, there was a killing right in the middle of the yard, walking back from a movement. A group of individuals were walking across the yard. A few individuals started taking off on them, and it ended with the victim passing away. And this was a interior, within the organization type thing. It wasn't, with any kind of adversaries or anything. It was in-house. And right now, that's all we have. We will get more details sooner or later, but that's what we got right now.
So did you get to see the footage or anything?
Yeah. It wasn't really like live footage. It was like more sequential photos. And it appears the photos were being taken by someone with a phone that wasn't supposed to have a phone within the facility out of a window that knew it was going down or just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But they handled their business.
Was this in January or no?
I'm not sure the exact date, my man. That sounds about correct, though, because that's when I started hearing about, the federal homies getting.
So that's what usually happens. As soon as they start having a couple of hits or birthdays, right? They start to try to lock people down, separation, and so forth, man.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard about this one, man. Usually I'm in loop. Interesting. So how many people were on the target?
As far as what? From what I gathered, it looked like 3, bro. But there was definitely 2 for sure. It looked like 2 were handling business with something in their hand, and one just was like standing right there. It really doesn't. Like I said, it wasn't it wasn't a video. It was just pictures. But it was either 2 or 3.
So that's been the rumblings, man. So that makes sense because I think last time you did an episode, you were talking about how they were going to take them out of the West Coast, out of Mendota and so forth, and transfer them out, right?
Yeah.
Is that just members or just any Northerners?
Well, I know personally some of the people who did get swept up into the lockdowns that were not members, that were souls. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a matter of viewpoint from the Bureau of Prisons who they feel is or isn't. Because I also know that there are still some Northerners moving about throughout the federal system in different locations. So yeah. It seems like it was supposed to be targeted to those they believed were big homies.
Okay. So interesting. The federal system seems like it operates differently. In general, I think the prison system's kind of changed with a lot more murders. But man, I couldn't imagine, man. I had that Latin King on the show, bro, and all the different groups you have to deal with, bro, like Mario Azteca, TS, Texas MA. What is it? What's that one that you said that before? The Pistoleros?
Oh man, that's Brothers of the Gunmen, Hermanos de las Pistoleros. I don't know the extent of their activity now. They were real strong in Texas in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if they fizzled off because they haven't really made a lot of headlines. But that was a group to reckon with, man, back in the Texas times.
You know what I heard today, right, from someone, right, that on the West Coast, like California, that they said that a lot of the Latin Kings were falling under the umbrella of the Paisas there or the Sureños. someone I know that was in the system from 2004. No, this came from a dude that was in the system from 2004 to 2017, but that didn't make no sense.
Doesn't make sense to me either.
You know what I mean?
We could get to the bottom of that, man. I got the resources to talk to some of them gentlemen.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Just in California.
they're gonna stand on their own, bro.
That's what I thought too. But he said just in the West Coast. He said
They're-
it's different over
they're-
there. Yeah.
If there's a group, if there's a dominant group, bro, and you don't really want no problems, there's 10 of you and 300 of them. I could see them being allies and chilling together and stuff. But as far as being taken under the umbrella and receiving directives, that goes against everything I know about the Latin King organization.
I know
bro.
that, bro.
They're extremely, we're used to the big homies down south and their reach and how big they are. Latin Kings are like that as well. They're extremely entrenched and they're about that action. I don't see it, but I'm not there.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I'm not going to call the homie a liar that told me, man, because he was just telling me that today. I was chopping up with him, and it's the same way they gave us a story about Skip last time.
Okay. Oh, well, he seems like a pretty reliable source, but then I don't know, bro. I can't call it.
Well, yeah. Well, each facility is going to be different. Like I think Bowman has all the Tango Blast.
I don't know.
Rose lost.
Depends at all, bro. I know what I hear. And I don't like to put my name on this and this and this unless it's at least 95% fact. I want to be at the A+ rating of my factuality. We've been wrong in the past, but the things that we're wrong about are times, days, nicknames, maybe what hood they're from. We don't make no major mistakes, and there's a reason, man, because we give a perspective, but we don't speculate. You know what I mean? So,
here, guys, when you hear something, man, you take it at face value. You look at the if it's a trustable source, and you decide how you want to run with it.
That's why we always do a disclaimer too. When especially Flock was real good about it. When we're about to do something, and we're just only offering you our point of view, whether it's true or false, A or B. We're going to let you know, hey, we're not 100% sure. This is our opinion, and it goes both ways.
And they still get offended. They still get offended by it, bro.
Hey, that's the heart of our channel is our perspective with 30 years of combined experience. You know what I mean? We're not always going to be accurate, but our perspectives are going to be. They can only be debatable at the most.
Yeah.
They can't be disregarded. I mean, not to toot our own horn, but we know what's up. I mean, that's just general all-around understanding of prison conduct, expectations, behavior, groups, environments. You're not going to teach us nothing we didn't know, except for little subtle facts. That's it.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How big do you think of a transition was it for when the NF started to go there, like Skip and Happy and all these individuals, and they started to establish different facilities? How hard of a transition do you think it was, being that it was a federal system, not a state system?
They, especially Skip, very intelligent, very shrewd, very with that action 1000%. I can't speak on the intelligence level of the mother gentleman, but I mean, we're groomed from the time we first start getting educated to establish, create resources, create manpower. So you're going to pull up on a yard, they already know that they're being sent somewhere where there's not no opposition, where everybody's neutral, essentially. You don't, Barrio Azteca don't have no beef with the NF. They've never seen each other before. Tongo, they don't got no beef. The Latin Kings don't got no beef. So when you're sliding into those yards, man, you look around, you see who seems to have a good sense of humor, you know what I mean, who's over there joking, and you're going to watch their conduct. They're going to be like, them guys are similar to us. They work out, their fucking clothes are creased down, they're representing themselves to the fullest, and they're going to slide into one of them people. Hey, what's up, man? Pleasure to meet you. My name's Skip from Sanjo. I represent the Norte, you know what I mean? I like your guys' get down, man. Hey, let's chop it up for a minute, man. Let's spin a lap. Right there, you start.
You did that good, bro. You did that perfect.
You start creating them bonds, man. You're like, hey, out in California we do this and this and this, and I see your get downs real similar, man. So why don't we say let's consider ourselves, man. You guys need anything from me? I'm there for you, and man, maybe vice versa. I could count on you like that as well. And man, you just present yourself right. People take a liking to you. Pretty soon, you're working with their connections, homie. I mean, they know what they're doing. Like I said, I can't speak for Happy and them. You know what? We already talked about what Skip did. He went in there. What? I can't do what? Slipping in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? But Skip don't want to do that either, though. He wants to go in there and blow. He wants his initiatives to blow up. What he's trying to, what the group's trying to go after, what Skip's trying to search for, that's what he wants. He don't want to go in there and slay people, but God damn it, he will. He'd rather. Nobody's trying to fight. Everybody wants money. Nobody wants war. You know what I mean? It's better to have friends than enemies. Everybody knows that. So the transition, yeah, was it hard? Yeah, you got to understand. Everybody, you know, you leave from California as a member of one of the big three or big 3.5, and you go to another state, or excuse me, a federal prison, you're going to have to get used to all kinds of groups. There's going to be Aryan Brotherhoods of Texas. There's going to be, if it ain't white, it ain't right, brother from fucking South Dakota. Huh?
APT runs with the NF too.
Right. Weird, weird.
Yeah. Hey, Aryan Brotherhood of Texas runs with the NF and TS and Texas Family. They all run together. It's true.
Right. So you got all of the Texas families. Then you got Tongo, which they don't consider themselves a family. I consider them a force to reckon with. You got the DC Blacks. You got Gangster Disciples. You got Crips. You got Bloods. You got Latin Kings, Vice Lords, Latin Counts, Maniac Latin Disciples. You got 50 different white power groups. You got whatever comes out of the dirty South. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to get used to the politics of each one. Familiarize yourself with how everybody integrates on the yard. Because when you got 30 gangs instead of basically 5 in California, you know what I'm saying? Or 6 or whatever. Bloods, Crips, North, South, Bulldogs, White Boys. You got 6 in California. Well, now you're dealing with 60. So you got to see how everything revolves. Who's with who likes who stays away from who. You're going to have to learn how to read the yard different, because spotting funk will be different, because a lot of them groups from the Midwest and shit, they have multiple ethnicities, just like Northerners. You know, there's whites, Mexicans.
Yeah.
A lot of the gangs that we perceive as black gangs, they got some white boys in there, and they roll with that gang. Just like white Crips without here, there's white GDs and shit. You got people who appear to be black that are Latin Kings, but they're Dominicans. There's a couple real black men in there. There's Cubans. It's a whole different flow, bro. And I've never been there. I'm just envisioning, man. So instead of playing on a chessboard, bro, you're expanding the pieces all kinds of different ways. And them dudes, they thrive, bro. They're gonna thrive. They're gonna be like, look at all this stuff that's right here for the picking. Who am I gonna be friends with? Who controls the fucking border? Barrio Azteca, come here. Let me talk to you for one time for your mind. That's what I would. That's the same thing I would have done textbook.
Now, what about the S&M?
I'm not into S&M, bro. I'm more old school, bro. I'm into natural lovemaking.
Syndicate, what is it? Syndicate.
You like that one? I don't know a lot about them, but that's another one I would have targeted if it was me. If it was me, I would have hit up them New Mexico boys. I would have hit up the Arizona MA. You know what I mean? I would have hit up Barrio Azteca. Barrio Azteca.
Yeah. Well, you also got the.
Hey, can I play handball with you guys? Hey, I'm from up north, man. I don't have no problem with you guys. Can I jump in on some handball? Start talking.
The Bison got 4 cars too, bro. Like they're all together though.
Yeah. Licenses are deep, bro.
I think it was like P20. I forgot. P16. That was one of them. They have a Tango one too. That is Bisons as well, bro. That a couple other groups.
Yeah, they see the Bisons are the deepest group in there.
Yeah, but they're how you say it? They don't have the structure. They're deep though. They'll handle their business. Some of them will. I mean, but
yeah,
they're the most deepest car in the federal system. Period.
Yeah, no, they're deep. They're definitely deep, man. That's another group you can't sleep on. Being, you know, if you're trying to look for resources, who better to go to than the Pisces?
Yeah, because they're in there for a reason. Yeah,
where are you from? Meet you a con? Come here. Come here. Let me talk to you one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's what Skip did, guaranteed. And we seen pictures with Happy and what was that, Stork?
No, that was a Bird.
Bird, Happy and Bird. Hey, stork's a bird. I was close. You know what I'm saying? We seen them pictures. They're chilling with all them Texas dudes, bro. They know what they're doing, homie. They're creating just like they're supposed to. Resources, alliances, maybe not so much manpower, but when your alliances got your back, that's the next best thing, you know. But it's a transition. I can imagine. It was a transition for me coming from Texas to Cali. You know, in Texas, you know, contrary to popular belief, where I was at the time, it might be different now. It might have been different from someone else's perspective. There wasn't all the racial shit. It was like Houston stuck together versus Dallas. San Antonio and Austin fought.
That's not bad. Before they hit the system, it was Cali car. I heard before.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they would let you just pretty much do whatever you wanted to do. A lot of homeboys were not really functioning for a minute. I mean,
yeah, that's what I heard too.
That's what Fish got hit for. Angel Gutierrez, you know Fish, right?
Yeah.
Homeboy slams programming. You know what I mean? It was a little bit too different. You know what I mean? So that's what they hit him for. And I think Mad Dog's the one that started the initial steps. So Skip hit Sheridan, it just got wild.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Mad Dog. Mad Dog's with the business too, bro. That's a shrewd gangster, and he's one of the other dudes that's been around a long time. You don't hear too many people speak ill upon him. You know what I mean? He's had a nice run, you know, and he's going to continue to. Just like Skip, you know, who talks bad about Skip except people that he hit? You know what I mean? Like, Skip's a G, bro. There's no taking that away. I don't know. They did everything by the book, in my opinion. This is the same thing I would have done if I hit the feds. I would have been like, I'd have looked around for a week, 2 weeks, seen something I liked, slid my way. But see, I also would have went and talked to some Latin Kings too, because I got history with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Texas car is smart though, because Texas is a big fucking faction, and that just helps them just be able to equalize towards the other factions.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to recruit a lot of different bicycle groups as well, because there's a lot of bicycle groups along that border that are on the other side that work with the body less thick as
they got a big Tongo has a Paisa division essentially.
I just said that.
Yeah. Just a trip. Yeah. That's a trip. You know, their politics are different in Texas, man. They're interesting, bro. If you talk about a transition, if you caught a case in Texas, say you're out in Corcoran, right? Out here, your time's up, Texas comes to get you, and you find yourself in TDC, you'd be like,
yeah, bro.
What do you mean I'm going to get up at 6 in the morning and you're going to run around behind me on a horse and I'm going to pick cotton? What the fuck are you talking about?
I had one.
You're going to pick some cotton.
Yeah, I had one coming to the pod, right? And so he was tripping because he didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? We're giving him a little paquete and stuff like that. So I started trying to figure out how Texas was. You know what kind of gangs and stuff, right? He said in there, man, what they do when you first go to the system, they do a lot of quota checks. See if you got heart, if you can handle these. If you're down to get these, whether you win or lose and show heart, you're good. You're good to go. But if you say, nah, you don't want to take that fade, or no, I'm not ready right now, that's doable.
Yeah, you will never have no commissary or nothing like that. They would do that shit in Texas Youth Commission. If you wouldn't fight, your cell would be empty, bro. Because once you're like, when I was there, bro, I was in TYC in 88, 89. And it wasn't racial. It wasn't really gangy. It was Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, El Paso. And then everybody else got in basically with the closest one of those cities to where they were. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? And you just stuck with your group, whether you were Latino, white, black, Asian, it didn't matter. You know, so that it makes it a little more complex in situations like that, because we're so used to looking at somebody and judging them how they look to what group they're in. Down there, it wasn't like that. A white boy could come up and bomb on you and talk about, this is Dallas, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, just crack your shit. It's different. I seen a dude from Fort Worth get stuffed in the garbage can one time. The three Houston black dudes beat him up, stuffed him in the garbage, and that kicked off. I don't think I've ever talked about it, but that kicked off the worst riot I've been in, like as a juvenile or adult or anything.
You got contact tomorrow.
It was an amazing riot, bro.
Oh, I got a quick announcement before we go. Tomorrow, me and Rojo are going to premiere something at 6 o'clock, I believe.
It's
going to be It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna talk about
Muy bueno.
yeah, it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be a very interesting story. A famous boxer being kidnapped, being rescued, and so forth. And you guys know who he is. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good one.
Yes, indeed.
I gotta send you the pictures of it too.
So anyway, YouTube, we wanted to bring that to you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any further information about this, get at us, man. We're curious if anybody knows anything more. What we just stated is factual, but we need more facts to go along with it. Holler at us on the Rojo Room, Real Talk with Flacco on Instagram, whatever. Holler at us. Hope you guys enjoy middle of the week, man. Let's get it done. I'll be on live later. Flacco will probably be on live later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for Flacco to go live. Then I'm going to go live. So all you guys jump off of Flacco's and come to the Rojo Room.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go out light up.
Hey, you guys have a good Wednesday, man. We love you guys. Respect you. Appreciate it. Have a good one, man.